everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventure. I am the Athletic Geek, and this is my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search for my bounty of new comics, old comics, action figures, collectibles, trade paperbacks, and so much more. But first, it's time for what stood out from last week's pull list, and it was a really good week. One of the books that really stood out was Batwoman. I think that might be my pick of the week from last week. Really enjoyed the whole storyline, with Batwoman and Montoya, and then their different, her like a speech to Talkworth of how, she's not a cop, she's not Batman, she's her own person. She believes in the same thing but does things, differently. I thought that was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. Been such a great book so far, and I haven't. This is my failure as a YouTube vlogger here. I don't know if that book's continuing because they kind of had a real. It was the end of that story arc, and I hope it's just the end of that story arc. I hope it's not the end of the book or the end of the writing team because it's very, very good. But I really enjoyed that book. Justice League by Scott Snyder, also very good. Some nice little fight with Batman and Lex Luthor. I thought that was awesome. Thor by Jason Aaron, he turned me into a Thor fan, man. As I've said before here on the show, I've never really been a huge fan of just Thor on his own. I've enjoyed him, but, never disliked him, but never really liked just Thor, but I'm really digging this book. I think Scott Snyder and Jason Aaron are probably the two, best writers of this since I got back into comics. Them along with, probably Jeff Johns have been the books that I've gotten into the most, and Jeff Lemire, Matt Fraction. But right now, just of the books I'm reading, those are probably the two best written books, and you could venture to say probably the best two writers of this generation. Green Lanterns was also very, very good. It's always a pretty good book. There have been a lot of mixed reviews on Tom King's Batman from last week. I thought it was okay. Some people thought it was a beautiful masterpiece. Some people thought it was crap. I stand right in the middle. I'm not taking it from my pull list yet, and I probably won't unless it just goes completely down. But it's got, as I said last week, it's still got some ground to make up on. But Batwoman, Thor, Green Lanterns, Justice League, those were the ones that really stood out for me. It was a really, really good week of comics. Even the worst book was okay. So you're doing something right if the book that delivers to me the least is not a bad book at all. But I will see you in a bit with this week's bounty. Hello everyone, I am back here at the homestead at Athletic Geek HQ with this week's bounty from the adventure. Not going to waste any more time. Going to get started on the Marvel side of things with a book that I've been singing the praises of for the last couple of months. Old Man Logan, it's issue number 46, and start of a new story arc. Really enjoy how much this book has improved and turned a corner with the last couple story arcs with Craven and Bullseye, and I'm really hoping that it keeps the momentum going. So, Old Man Logan number 46, and keeping with the X-Men side of things, we will go to X-Men Gold number 34. This book's been hit and miss the last couple of times I've read it, but I believe as far as the X-Men team books go, X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue, X-Men Red, I believe this is still the best one out there. You can throw Astonishing X-Men in there as well. This is the best X-Men book that, talks about the adventures of the team itself. So yeah, hopefully this won't be a hit. It's been more hits than misses, but much like Batman, they kind of gave us a small bait and switch, and they gave us something better, but I'd still kind of have a little empty feeling after being promised one thing and given another. But still, X-Men Gold 34. And speaking of the thing that we got, we have Mr. and Mrs. X number 2 of this 5-issue miniseries. It's Gambit, it's Rogue, it's Deadpool, and the continuing adventures of the newlywed Gambit and Rogue. First issue was good. And again, hope the momentum continues and this ends up being a nice little mini-series. Leaving the X-Men and going to the rest of the Marvel Universe, we go to Daredevil number 607. It's hyping up Matt Murdock's twin brother. And yeah, I continue to read this book just because I love the Daredevil character. It's average at best. I hate to be that way. And there's some people that really, really enjoy this book. For me, I think it's just okay. And I continue to read it just because I am a big Daredevil fan and I like to get my fix of Daredevil. It hasn't become a book so bad. It's not a bad book, but it hasn't become one of those books that's so bad I have to part with being able to keep up with the adventures of a character I enjoy like other books have. So, but unfortunately, I can't really think of a whole lot of positive things to say about it because it's just kind of okay, but Daredevil 607. And then to round out the Marvel side of things, we have Avengers number 6 by Jason Aaron. Before the adventure began today, you heard me sing the praise of Jason Aaron. I enjoy his Thor book more than Avengers, but that's not to say that this Avengers book is bad by any stretch of the imagination. I really enjoy it. I really like what's going on with this, and yeah. I like how I can kind of get a little dose of a lot of characters that I enjoy without having to buy a bunch of different books. And in the Avengers, that's kind of the old school mentality of the Avengers in Justice League. You could get all the characters you wanted for one cheap price or one low price, and that's kind of how I'm looking at the Avengers. Is I can kind of get Captain America, I can get some Iron Man, get Black Panther, whatnot, and get them all in one book and be able to enjoy reading the adventures of all these characters I enjoy in one setting written by a good writer. A great writer. So Avengers number 6. And we go to the DC side of things, which we will start off with Action Comics number 1002 by Brian Michael Bendis. The era of Bendis over the Superman stories, not just in the Superman ongoing, but in Action Comics 2 continues. And yeah, just going to see where it goes and see. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Said more than once. Bendis really has Superman's voice down. He writes Superman well. He doesn't quite have the voice of the rest of the characters. I think sometimes he's even I feel like he's trolling the audience with things that like Batman is saying that he would never ever really probably be saying in his own book or with any other writer. So yeah, but that aside, how he writes Superman is he's done pretty well so far. So I'm gonna stay on board the train until I feel the need to get off. So gonna keep this up. Action 1002, and then from there we go to The Flash, number 53, and there's a new creative team, I believe. Oh, no, they're not. My bad. My mistake there. New story arc, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. It's like I've always hyped this up as the sleeper hit that always flies under the radar, and I can hope that more people check this great book out. Just by watching the show. If I get more people to read The Flash, watch The Flash too, it's a great show, with this little YouTube series, then I would consider it a success because this deserves a lot more love than it gets. But Flash number 53. And then finally we go to Terrifics number 7. It's also a really, really good book by Jeff Lemire with kind of the not-so-popular heroes all coming together to form their own supergroup. Yeah, it's fun. It's exposure to different characters and different heroes, and I really enjoy it, and I enjoy Jeff Lemire's writing. And this book continues to be a very entertaining book. So Terrifics number 7. We go from there to Detective Comics number 987, and This book's quality's taken a hit with the new creative team, but it's still a fun little Batman book. You know, they're kind of doing stuff with Black Lightning, and it's not what I liked when DC Rebirth first began and how they were using detective, but it's still a good little book. And you know, it's still on the pull list, so it hasn't become a terrible book. So there's that. And then finally we have Justice League Dark #2, the man behind the classic, in my opinion, great run on Detective Comics before this new creative team, is now on Justice League Dark. The magic and mysticism Justice League team led by Wonder Woman. And yeah, issue 1 was really good. And you know, I'm not really the world's biggest fan of Wonder Woman, but I really enjoy how she leads this kind of team, and how, you know, she's kind of more of a, she's a warrior, but she's kind of leading the team that has to do with magic. And I think that's really interesting. It's really, really cool. And, you know, it's a really, much like Terrifics, it's just a really, really cool team, and how they interact was really good. And I'm hoping this series continues to impress and do well. And I'd say it's a pretty safe bet at this point. But yeah, Justice League Dark #2. And then finally, and this wasn't bought at the comic shop, it's an Amazon exclusive figure, but it arrived today, so we will include it with the bounty. And it's this cool little DC Multiverse Harley Quinn figure. The main reason I picked this up is because it was $5. It was literally $5 on Amazon, and that may speak poorly of it. And granted, I will say this, you know, Margot Robbie did an excellent job when she portrayed Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad movie. I really enjoyed her part in the movie. And it's not a traditional, not even for the classic, or I should say classic, or the normal look of Harley in that movie, but, you know, it's still kind of a neat figure, and for $5, I think it'd be cool. I prefer the Marvel Legends figures over the DC Multiverse figures, but, you know, if it's still available on Amazon, I think you're getting a steal at $5 for a cool little figure like this. So, yeah, well, it's got added on to the bounty when I got home. But that is it for this week's comic shop adventure. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see others like it, please click that subscribe button or check out some past videos. For more content, go like the Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. Not just content from the world of comic books, but gaming, pro wrestling, anime, and all things geek culture. Check it out. But other than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.